Hello, everyone, and welcome to the IVS Jaipur podcast. I'm Arushi Dwivedi, and today's episode is a very special one. We are driving into the story of Jaipur's iconic blue pottery to the journey of the woman who revived it and took it across the world, the incredible Dr. Leela Bordia of Neerja International. Leela ji, it's an honor to have you today with us.
It's my pleasure, and I'm honored too because of it's very good for the craft. If we are talking youngsters, students, and they are making something on these issues, it's very good for our craft.
We are glad. So, Leela ji, you've often said something striking, and that is that blue pottery actually chose you. So I wanted to start right there. Can you take us back to the moment where you thought or you felt that you have to step into this craft and make something of it?
Yeah, as you said that you pottery chase me, I have it. And you know what happened? While going one day, I saw 4 5 people in one small jopri, what you call. So every day I used to go there and I was wondering what they are doing over there. And I asked, what you are doing? जी blue pottery बनाने. What is blue pottery? जी चीनी मट्टी के बर्तन. वो क्या होता है? And I asked them from which place you all are. This is we are in that village, this village, this village. Why you have come over here? Then they said ki we don't have, and you know in India only two crops. Farmers have only two crops, and most of the farmers they come to the countryside.
Right.
So they said we don't have work after one crop or this thing, so we have to come to the city side, and that's how we are here. And that's how I met you, Pete Will. And I said, why don't you go to your own village? They said, what we will do? And suddenly I said, okay, why don't you go? I'll give you the work. And then one day, after 2 years, one person named Lalara, he came to me and he said, that time, no madam, Baichi. Yes, and because of I was also young and sister, like, Baichi, you were telling that you will give us the work. Please come to my village. He said, okay. But it took me 2 years. Okay. Yeah, 2 years. And I wait over there. And then so many hurdles were there, but we could able to uh, come up with that. So that's how I was there in their village.
So Calcutta definitely had a very big impact on this journey. Yeah. I believe your mother also worked closely with Mother Teresa while out in Calcutta. So that must have shaped your values.
Yeah, that was the reason, because of I grew with my mother, right? And they after for 1947, uh, our India was in a very mess, and few ladies during those days, I'm talking about 1950, 1955, they used to go house to house to aid the people. And I have seen from my childhood. And probably that made me to work with these village people, and that made me to be mingle with those village people. And I mean, rather than in the city side, I was there with those odd people because in the form my back of my mind always it was there the way my mother used to work. I also must work like that. That was the reason. So I went to the villages and all those places.
So that's a great thought, but an action. And let's come back to Jaipur. So I think you shifted here right after your marriage
Yes.
in Jaipur.
Yes.
And you saw blue pottery artisans in the villages struggling, and you did start up some things there. Yeah. So, how was your very first conversation with them? I think we discussed it, but maybe in detail, like in those 2 years, how were you able to communicate with them? How often? And what really happened in those 2 years?
I tell you something. When I used to go to those, I hate calling those slum areas, those secure areas, you know, like 30 years, 25 years, when I started going to those areas, those people were talking like, itne se kya hoga? They became the demanding.
Oh,
And then and there, I realized, no, you work for me, I pay. And that was the reason I made those people to go back their own village and work.
okay.
That was the main reason I took them to their own village, that you all are farmers. Why don't you work in your own village? And that's what I started working with them.
So that's how you solved problem one thing. You effectively were able to find out a solution.
Yes. And that's how today I tell you, I have 4 villages and they all are working the same way. They all are farmers. They all are working the same way.
So that's big. Where are these villages located? Or like, is it like in Jaipur, near Jaipur, or maybe in Calcutta?
No. Around Jaipur, 30 miles, 40 miles. Oh, I'm Goti.
Okay, so that's great. And you really didn't have any formal training in design and art forms. And yet you became the designer behind Nija. And what about the learning curve at Nija? What exactly were you able to learn? How were you able to adapt? Because not having a formal training and yet achieving so much definitely takes a lot of effort, lot of time, and many of those are left untold.
So, blue pottery was not known to me. I was not known to blue pottery. One thing was there that Anoki I met, and they knew that I'm little bit working with those village people. Those village people are making the blue pottery. So, one Franz Weyer came to Jaipur, and John, he called me that Leela, you are making with the village people blue pottery. Why don't you meet this Franz, the Paul Coman, his name? I met that gentleman, and he asked me to make in blue pottery bead curtain. Okay, yeah, bead curtain. Before that, there was no beads in blue pottery. So we tried our best to make the beads, and we made the bead curtains, and we sent to France. We were very happy that we made the beads, and our bead curtains has gone to France, and everybody was very happy. I mean, around me, everybody was very happy. After 6 months, somebody came from France, and he said that you made the bead curtain, blue pottery bead curtain. Yes. Very proudly, I said yes. They said, but you know, those curtains were silly on the sale. I said, what? Yes, they were not up to the mark. कमियां जिसे कहते हैं उसमें थी. हाँ, बहुत सारी कमियां थी. And then suddenly he said, don't worry about. I'll give you some other work. And that fallback made me, that unless until I learn about this craft, I don't think so I can go ahead.
Right.
That was, and I always tell people कि अगर आप गिरते हैं तो ये बहुत अच्छा है, क्योंकि आप फिर पीछे देखते हैं कि कहाँ कहाँ आपकी क्या क्या कमियां हुई हैं, और उसी कमियों को दूर करने के लिए और ब्लू पॉटरी को एक ऊंचाई तक ले जाने के लिए, बताया मैंने क्या किया. मैं कंट्री टू कंट्री अकेली घूमने जाती थी. मतलब अकेली मैं बैकपैक लेके, और कौन सी ऐसी कंट्री जो मैं नहीं गई हूँ कि आई यूज टू गो टू द कंट्री टू कंट्री टू कंट्री टू मेक to understand myself, to make myself that what is the craft means. Why I can make, how I can make my craft unique so that people like and our identity can be there, and we can say, yes, this is the blue pottery and this we really can. So that was the main reason how I learned going to the country, and I asked to check these by people that, okay, now you make this, now you make this, that you make this. That was my learning process.
So that's like वो saying है कि गिरना भी जरूरी है और हाँ you mentioned.
So that failure was best for me, and I assessed myself that how I can make this craft to survive. So that was the main mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes ऐसा भी होता है कि कुछ लोग फेलियर को लेते हैं बट उससे वो अपने आप का एक स्टेप बैक देखते हैं. So taking it in a positive way is also something that's
Failure is must. Failure is must. Then you try to assess yourself where and what mistake you did. You know, failure is that.
I think the younger generation now really needs that kind of a message that failure is a must.
Yes, must. Otherwise, you will become hided.
Right.
Yes, yeah. That okay. Oh, मैंने तो work कर लिया.
So that's about it. But while learning this new art, while bringing in a lot of innovation, could you sense resistance not only in the market but also in terms of whether artisans were ready for that kind of a thing? Like they were more into blue pottery, as in the ceramic art form, the mixture and the uniqueness of it. But were they able to adapt to the beads and the mugs and maybe the kind of tiles that you were trying to create? उनकी तरफ से कोई रेजिस्टेंस था?
No, no, no. I don't think so. Because of they were very happy to do new things. And I always used to say that if we have to survive in craft, we have to make the craft utility items. Unless and until we make the utility item of one big pot,
Right.
only will be in the house one. But if we are making the new knobs or bead curtain, bead jewelry, bead this thing, so we always have to be innovate. And that they understood working with me, that every time they have to make something new and challenging, they have to challenge, they have to accept. Yes, they have to accept the challenge. They understood with me. So, like the grandfather is working with me today, the grandchildren, they are working.
Right.
Because of, they understood that unless and until we make new things, why the people will come and buy this?
It's completely understandable. And it's great that they could actually be very happy about it. Because at times people do have resistance to change, especially nowadays. But it's really great to know that they took it with they're very happy.
Yeah, very happy they took that. Yeah.
And I think many of Nirja's artisans are women. If you could tell us about any one women artisan whose journey has really touched you in this course.
I mean, many. They say, because of whenever I go in the village, they say, and doing side by side, we do talk everyone that how are they, how their children, what they are doing. So they are very easy to chat everything about themselves. So that was must be that is the reason they are so near to me and they are happy to work because of I sit with them on the ground. So I started with the ground.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't study anything. I studied going outside the country, but I learned from them. So they are my guru. I always feel they are my guru because of I learned from them. I was not having any knowledge about the blue pottery. They made me to understand the blue pottery. The thing is that I gave them the material.
Right.
You can say that way.
So that is a pathway for them.
Yes.
And I'm empowered them all.
Yeah, they also gave me the paths.
So they also, it's like an entire thing where you provided them a path, but all of you grew together.
Yeah, we grew together. That's what they say.
And during the COVID-19 pandemic, how did Nirja International regarding the trade and your artisan community cope? Because I think that was a time, jahan we all know how the situation was. Everything was closed. So what was the situation like for Nirja?
I'm very happy for with this question, you know. My all the units were in the villages, right? So they were in the village. विलेज के पीपल को बहुत कम कोरोना हुआ क्योंकि वो बहुत खुली हवा में रहते थे तो उनका तो प्रोडक्शन चालू ही था और वो हमारे लिए एक ब्लेसिंग हो गई कि हमारे लिए बहुत सारा प्रोडक्ट बना हुआ हमें मिल गया सो दैट वाज आई मीन आई वोंट से दैट कोरोना वाज ब्लेसिंग फॉर अस बट द ब्लेसिंग वाज दैट दे वर इन द विलेजेस
Right.
that was blessing for this craft. So it didn't hurt us a single this day.
So you stood by even at times like COVID.
Yes, yeah.
That's great. That's amazing. So you had many achievements, and by coming here, we also could see the Limca Books record, yeah, the recognition, and CBSE including Blue Watery in their own curriculums, international acclaims. And out of all these, which one would you say would personally make you the proudest?
Wow. Difficult to tell. One student from, there is one lesson in Australia also.
Okay.
Yes. And one student asks their teacher that why Miss Godia is not using the machine,
Right.
And I explained them, the machine you can make many, many pieces, but textile won't be there. That was the question when I gave them the answer, those students. And sometime I still get the letter that still we want to tell you that why don't you use the machine? And still I tell them, no, we are not going to use the machine. The moment we use the machine, the feel of this craft will go away because of the rest of the country, like the China, Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, they all are far ahead in ceramic.
Right.
We don't stand anywhere. So the moment we use the machine, the feel of this craft will go away. So that's how we are not using the machine.
Because I think while entering this place, I could also see a view pottery elephant, the elephant sun, which is also a very famous ceramic piece when it comes to anyone going to Vietnam.
Yes,
There are huge shipments of these things coming here.
yes,
So I think blue pottery right now and the pieces that they're making is something that's not just a piece that everyone would love to take, but is coming under it with more recognition. And now that we've already started talking about how handcrafting it is completely different from it being made in industries. So could you tell us how blue pottery is actually made? Because it's definitely not from mud, it has its entire beautiful process. So if you could just take us through it once.
entire world, each and every country is making the ceramic.
Right.
But right now, only two countries, one is India and one is Turkey, they are making with the same type of ingredients. Rest of the country, ceramic is the clay base.
Okay.
And this art, this thing is the quartz base. क्वार्ट्ज मीन्स पत्थर के पाउडर को स्ट्रेट हम पाउडर बनाते हैं पत्थर से एंड पत्थर का इसका इंग्रेडिएंट है सो दैट्स हाउ दिस इज अ वेरी यूनिक प्रोडक्ट इन द वर्ल्ड बिकॉज आर इंग्रेडिएंट्स आर स्ट्रेट फ्रॉम द क्वार्ट्ज पाउडर पत्थर के पाउडर्स दैट्स वाई एंड रेस्ट ऑफ द कंट्रीज सिरेमिक्स आर clay based, whether it is red clay or the black clay or the China clay or any a different type of a clay. That is the difference between this craft and that.
Okay. So that's really good about it. Now, for young people who would want to work in the heritage of crafts and maybe at major, so is social entrepreneurship something that they should learn about differently as a specialization? Or anyone who wish to pursue a career in this field can be happily joining? And what principles do you think that they must hold on to? And what mistakes also are there that they should avoid?
Okay. First mistake they should avoid that they will have to give at least if they are coming in any these such type of a institute. I'll call the institute this. Then they will have to wait for 5 years. Oh yes. Once they are 5 years in that field, then कहते हैं ना नींव पक्की होनी चाहिए
हाँ.
so the knee will be patti and then they won't be their sign will work
Okay.
that's what I wanted to tell these youngsters because of youngsters are they know entire field because of mortal gadgets
Right.
where to go how to go this thing and they are eager to switch over also always they switch over this job to that job to this job. But if you want to come in these types of business, these types of handicraft, you would have to wait for 5 years, learn properly, make your signature on that, then nobody will able to make you, you will go ahead, ahead, ahead. That was I wanted to tell. If somebody is coming in these types of pays, they will have to give their 5 years, absolutely their 5 years critics.
So there's this trend of, I think, job hopping.
Yes,
So that's one thing that they would definitely have to avoid.
yes, they have to avoid if they want to come in these types of business.
Okay. So before we wrap up, if you could leave our listeners with one quote, that one action, one call to action, or just one thought for the future generations or for the upcoming entrepreneurs, from what you've learned throughout your journey, what would it?
To the youngsters, I mean, right now I told you that our Indian heritage has got washed history, geography, be like that. So before coming any distinct field, they should read our own history and geography. Then they will find out one specific line and they really will able to grow.
Right.
Yes, that's what I want to tell this thing. That history, geography, if you take your own history, geography, you really will able to grow and you will able to tell world that yes, we are what we are.
Okay. And we also collected some questions from our students. How can young people today support specifically Blue Pottery? Is it about buying directly, volunteering, or learning the craft?
Learning the craft. Yes.
So learning the craft is definitely what made Yahoo and made all any the craft for it, really is. And if someone wants to start collecting authentic blue pottery, what's the first thing they should check for? For example, मैं एकदम नई हूँ इस फील्ड में, मुझे इसके बारे में कुछ आइडिया नहीं है. So I, as a newcomer, was no idea about कि actual blue pottery कैसी दिखती है and how does a fake one look. How would I be able to distinguish it?
Automatically you're able to, because of it's a handmade.
Okay.
It's not the machine made. There is a difference between a machine made and handmade. So you will able to assess that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, ma'am. Today, sitting with you was an honor to know about your story firsthand, right from you, how you've transformed this entire Nirja as a firm, as a lot of people, a hope for the community, and how it's really building up. It's been great listening to.
Spark User too. And thank you so much for you all young people who are coming up. These types of questions they are bringing up. And I think I'm very happy and probably I wish one or two people will join Blue Pottery and take further. That's my wish.
Definitely, definitely.